Learn to Knit Part 2 for casting on. Casting on is the initial set of loops on your needle to get started. I'm going to teach the knit, or sometimes called the 2-needle cast on. This is the word you need to know, and it's abbreviated like this in patterns, with how many you need on your needle as the number. So I'm going to put the needle that has the slipped stitch on it in my left hand, and I'm going to hold the tail in my left hand with it so that I don't actually knit with that. Then I'm going to take my empty right hand needle and I'm going to put it in the same loop that's already on my left needle, so they're sharing a loop. And I'm going to cross the right one behind so that it makes this kind of X shape. Then I want to take my yarn that's attached to the ball and I want to take it from the back side around to the left of that back needle and then between my needles so that the yarn ends up between my needles. I then use my right one to push it down. You notice I'm stabilizing things with my index finger so that things don't slide off. I'm going to take that yarn down through the hole into the front. And you notice when I got to the front, I started pushing my needle through. That's so that I can use this width of the needle to actually measure out how big my loop's going to be. Now I've got 2 loops, my original one and the one I just made. But I'm trying to load up stitches on the left. So I'm going to take my left point and I'm going to go under the loop from the under part of that front bar and I'm going to scoop it up. So I'm going to put it in the same direction that the right needle is going through that new loop. Once it's in there, I can either rewrap or I can take out my right needle, let it tighten a little bit so that it's an even tension to the loop before, and then I can set up for the next one. So I'm going to go into the top loop, just the same, cross it behind, take my needle from the back around the left back side and between the needles so that the yarn ends up between. Then I'm going to take my right needle to push that new yarn down to the front, measure it out, take my left to scoop up my new loop. And this time I'm just going to keep my right needle in there so it's ready to be wrapped again. So wrap between, knit it through, scoop from the side, and again. And the reason I like this is it's a very similar motion to what you need to know for knitting. That initial slip knot does count as a stitch. You don't need to measure a tail or anything. Some of the other cast-ons you will, and that's okay if you already know how to do that. Do that kind of cast on. And I'm just going to keep casting on until I have my 20 stitches. So I have my 20 stitches and I can count them out. I have a ridge at the bottom that serves as a really good foundation. Nothing's overly tight. My yarn didn't get thin because I was pulling it too tight. And so I know that this is going to be a good cast on to get started on my knitting.